Episode 1. Vilson and Ferox, the tree in the garden. On a quiet morning in the small town of Milgon, the sun had just begun to warm, the rooftops of old houses and the green gardens behind them. Vilson was sitting in his backyard, a simple stone house with a small shed and 2 wooden benches. On the grass, Ferox, his loyal and playful dog, wagged his tail and looked at him, eager to play. Vilson lay stretched out on a blanket, eyes closed, ready to enjoy a bit of sunshine. But a shady patch, or rather, an old tree, covered the exact spot they wanted to sit in. The tree was one of 2 old ones in the yard, but this one had cracked bark and a dangerously drooping branch. Ferox, I think this one's had its time. It's time to clear the garden. He walked to the garage and went inside and came back with a well-maintained chainsaw. Ferox watched him closely, head tilted to one side, looking puzzled. Vilson started the chainsaw and began cutting into the trunk with care. The cut was clean, but just as he reached the center, the blade hit something metallic. What the heck? He stopped the chainsaw, took a small knife, and dug around until he uncovered a perfectly round bronze sphere, deeply embedded in the tree's core. It had strange engravings in relief, symbols he had never seen before. Ferox, have you ever seen anything like this? Ferox stepped closer, sniffing the sphere cautiously. Suddenly, it began to vibrate slightly in Vilson's hand. Acting on instinct, he pressed one of the symbols, and the sphere snapped open with a deep, metallic sound. From inside, a beam of white light, pulsing like a living heartbeat, shot out and struck Ferox straight in the chest. The dog barked once, but had no time to move. The light pierced him, sending a shockwave through the air. Vilson dropped to his knees in shock and shouted, "Ferox, are you okay?" For a few seconds, there was only silence. Then Ferox lifted his head. His eyes were different now, one icy blue, the other earthy brown. His ears had stretched and morphed into bat-like ears, and from his back, a long, scaly tail, bright turquoise, unfurled through the air like a blade. Vilson stepped back in disbelief, but Ferox gave a short bark. It was still him, but something had changed forever. In Vilson's hand, all that remained of the sphere was a piece of scorched bronze, cold to the touch, yet with an engraving that now faintly pulsed. Without knowing why, he tied it with a leather cord around his wrist. Beside him, where the sphere had fallen, there was now a small, thick book with old rounded covers. Opening it, Vilson found pages written in a language he couldn't read, filled with strange drawings, unseen plants, and vivid symbols that seemed to pulse under the sunlight. He closed the book carefully, but something slipped out from the last page, a thin, almost invisible rolled-up map. Vilson hadn't noticed it, yet. He looked at Ferox, who now sat still but alert. "Looks like our little sunbathing session just turned into a mission, buddy." And somewhere far away, the symbols on the map began to glow.